Good morning, my name is Ben. This is the Redemptor dreadnought from the Blood Angels chapter on the 8th edition rule set from the codex. So let's go over some of the basics and we'll build upon that after. So its movement starts off at 8, its weapon skill will start off with 3+, same for the ballistic skill of 3+, strength 7, toughness 7, wounds 13. This will obviously degrade, however it won't degrade until it hits the 6 wound mark, followed by the 3 wound mark thereafter. It's currently got 4 attacks, leadership of 8 and a 3+ save. Now just be aware it's currently armed with the Fragstorm grenade launcher, range 18, assault d6, strength 4, 0 AP, 1 damage and no special abilities on that at all. There's also a heavy flamer which I've had located just under the arm, which I'll show you now. I've had it magnetised so I can take it off, however, but its range is 8, it's heavy 6, strength 5, -1 AP, 1 damage. This weapon automatically hits its targets. It's really good for Overwatch if you're not already used to using anything in 40k. This is a quick bit of information for you and a refresh for everyone else. You can have either that, or you can also have your Onslaught Gatling cannon, which I've got here, which is currently set up for a bit of magnetisation. So if you wish to throw it on, you can. With any luck, it should just go on. However, the Gatling cannon is only going to be a case of heavy 6, so if you move it's going to be -1 to that. There will be ways to circumnavigate around that, however, and the strength is going to be 5, damage -1, and it's going to be 1 damage. It's really not going to do an awful lot on its own, however, it is good for mowing down the infantry. Depending on your setup, it depends on what you're going to do with it. So you've got a macro plasma incinerator. Obviously, like most plasma, there's 2 variants. You can either do it in normal or supercharged. However, there's always a penalty for the supercharged aspect of it. Range for both is going to be 36 inches, heavy d6. Now the standard will only be a strength 8, which is actually quite good, whereas the overcharge will be strength 9. It will be -4 for your AP on both, despite whatever setting you choose to fire it on. However, there will only be 1 damage for the standard and 2 for the overcharge, but any rolls of 1 will instantly cause you to have a mortal wound in return for that lovely benefit of 2 damage. However, if you don't wish to use that, you can always use the heavy Onslaught Gatling cannon for a range 30, heavy 12, strength 5, -1 and 1 damage. So let's have a little look at that. To be honest, if you want to mow down the enemy infantry, this is actually not a bad little setup. However, I would say if you're mowing down enemy infantry, you might want to use a specialised unit for that rather than choosing a dreadnought, because there's an awful lot of points invested in this item. However, it's your choice, it's your hobby, you do as you wish. Also, we've got the rockets currently fitted on there at the moment. However, like I said, most things on my army, if I can get away with it, I will magnetise, or have magnetised for me if I don't do it myself, as is the case here. So you can either have those rockets that we just showed you for a heavy D3, strength 7, -1, 1 damage, but you'll be +1 to hit. And the other option, +1 hits for flyers, and the other option is obviously the Storm Bolters. It's just going to be a case of range 24, rapid fire 2, 4 strength, 0 for your AP, and just 1 damage. But if you're going to use a dreadnought for anything, given your close combat weapon, which is rather nice, the Redemptor Fist, melee, and it's just going to be a ×2 strength, so that'll make you strength 14, -3 and d6 damage. So if you're going to use something like a dreadnought personally, I would have it set up for anti-armour. And if you're putting all those points in, you want to concentrate on just one thing, wipe it out, move on to the next thing. Always nice to have a tech priest around. However, this is my personal preference of the setup. I would have the plasma. you're going out of strength 8 even if you don't overcharge, which is awesome because you're going to win most things on a 3 or a 4 for a vehicle. And you've got your rockets, again, really useful. If you do come across some infantry, you want to keep them at a distance anyway, but no one's really going to want to charge you unless they've invested a lot of points in melee weapons to take on a vehicle. So the Gatling cannon's quite nice, and obviously get rid of your flyers. Right, that's a quick overview of the stats. Now you can obviously exchange the component parts which I've covered. However, just be aware that if you do end up losing this unit, and it does go down to 0 wounds on all of a d6, yeah, you do not want to roll that 6 unless you're surrounded by lovely little enemies, and in which case roll that 6 and attempt to re-roll if you can, and you'll cause d6 mortal wounds. Anyway, this has been my overview of the Redemptor dreadnought at power level 10 and the 8th edition codex. Hope you enjoy.